Verse, it's me, the Angel Man, here today to give you guys another video. Welcome back, Verse, to a new segment on my channel, which is what I'm calling React With Me. Literally, I know that's technically the point of me doing reaction videos in general, but this is something a little bit different. I've never really reacted to videos where I hear people having a discussion about something, you know? I've never done a video like that before. I've obviously done reaction videos reacting to things in entertainment, you know, whether it's movies, video games, nothing with music videos yet. I thought about that, but I'm like, then I gotta deal with the copyright and stuff, so it kind of depends. But here, I am a fan of you know, listening to discussions, you know, kind of giving my thoughts. So I came across a particular video that I was going to watch privately, but then I kind of just had this thing where I was like, you know what? I always have the funniest reactions, and I always have these thoughts when I watch something in particular. And I was like, this time I want to actually record it. I want to give you guys my thoughts on anything that comes across my way, and just like see what happens. And this one, just because of my perspective and my beliefs, right, this really got me to kind of want to make a video because this was interesting. So if anyone hasn't heard the channel called Jubilee, it's a channel where they bring in particular people from either a type of group, religion, it could be about gender, or, you know, race, anything, and they ask them a series of questions, right? Sometimes they do different segments. So I found this video, right, it just popped up on my feed, which says, "Who's not a Satanist?" Yeah. So, I'm going to be trying some new things on my channel too. Now that I'm getting older, I want to try to change up my game a little bit. So I'm going to be reacting to this because I am a little curious. I kind of always wanted to know that because I'm Catholic. I changed my belief because I came out of my situation, you know, about being transgender at the time, about, you know, wanting to become a Buddhist. I still do have some beliefs about Buddhism, but then I'm slowly coming back to the path of God, you know, that's just my personal belief and my perspectives. I'm going back into being Catholic again. I still have a lot of things to do, to work on, to kind of like go back on track, that's for sure. And regardless, I've always had my belief in God. And you know, one of the biggest things when it comes down to Christians is clearly when they have a topic against people who are Satanists, right? And it's really interesting. I always wanted to know what it is that they talk about. That is something that I am kind of curious about, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be reacting to this, seeing if they can really figure out who's not a Satanist there. I'm a little skeptical about it, but I'm also kind of curious about it, right? So with that said though, Verse, let's get to it. Okay, Verse. 6 Satanists versus 1 secret Christian. Odd one out. I'm a little cautious on this one, if you catch my drift.
We brought together 7 Satanists.
I'm a Satanist.
I'm a Satanist.
I'm a Satanist.
I am a Satanist.
I am a Satanist.
I can see that.
I am a Satanist.
I am a Satanist.
One of them is a Christian. If the group discovers who the liar is, they will split a cash prize. If the liar survives, they win the entire prize. Who is the odd one out?
So how
They did This is crazy. This is how you know when like someone in entertainment is like, you know what? There are these two groups that kind of do go at it each other. Let's just let's see what happens when you put them in a room and record it.
I want to identify in the sense of, are you atheist, agnostic?
I'm a atheistic Satanist from the Satanic Temple.
Also atheist, TST.
Yep.
Yeah,
Same here. I was thinking there was going to be some Church of Satan people here.
Or self-identified.
I'm more traditional Church of Satan kind of mentality. I actually identify as a Luciferian witch. I practice a lot of magic and occultism.
I love your vibe, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone looks amazing.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah. Can you imagine seeing that? Like, imagine if it was a serial killer. Hi, my name's Greg, and you know, I've killed about 17 people and mutilated like about 4 of them. So, you know, that's just my history. And then someone's like, I like your vibe. I don't. Anyways, it's still too early. Still too early.
Yeah, I feel very underdressed.
Going in, I was especially suspicious of Lisa because ballet flats.
I actually learned about Satanism from a Jubilee video, and it's been about 6 months. So really props to you guys for introducing me to it.
Officially, I've only been Satanist.
Oh, that's so. I don't agree with that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever have any type of curiosity towards any type of belief, you should really, and I mean really, do your research. Don't be influenced by one video and certain people's perspectives, right? Like it's okay to have to raise an eyebrow and be like, huh, but you really gotta look into it, right? You don't want to just watch something and be like, you know what, that sounds fun. Like,
stop the cap.
you see what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be that easily influenced, you know what I mean? So it really opens my eyes when I see that.
About a year, I kind of had to deal with some former Christian, religious trauma to get there.
I'm really similar. I actually grew up Christian, and it wasn't until college where I started exploring my queerness more and stepping into it. I just didn't want to believe in something that was gonna damn me to hell for who I loved.
I joined the
I mean, you know, you really won't be damned that easily. See, I'm gonna say that right now. That's something that I really don't like to hear. I'm very familiar with the Bible, and I'm not here to preach anybody. This is just common knowledge from where I'm coming from. The Bible, it talks about homosexuality, yeah, but it talks more than that. People assume that that's like the only thing it talks about. Homosexuality is like one of the most basic, smallest things that the Bible talks about, but there's so much more. And then people assume because of that, you know, oh, I'm going to burn for all eternity. No, you just gotta have a good relationship with Jesus. That's all you gotta do. Just have a good relationship, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying that it's guaranteed, but I mean, the fact that, you know, that you accept Jesus Christ as your savior, like, as long as you're putting in dedication and you're putting a lot of time and belief, you know, and you're building up your relationship, it's possible. But it's like the moment, like, you feel like you're, you know, like you're a certain way, and then immediately I give up. And I should know, I speak from experience, alright? And I came to a lot of realization. So for me, that's kind of where I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it when people talk about that, you know? To me, I try to be respectful, but I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, if you haven't read the Bible, then I'm just saying, you know, have an open mind about it. Maybe you should, and before you know, assume. That's just where I'm coming from. So, yeah.
A little over a year ago. In general, I love Halloween and anything spooky, so so I was kind of just drawn to it to begin with. Reading the temple's tenets and learning more about it, it just really resonated with me.
Shelby's body language kind of conveyed that she was nervous, and I imagine that a Christian would probably feel nervous in a group of Satanists.
Actually, I have a quick question about everybody's relationship with their family, specifically their parents. Yeah.
My dad is the only one of my parents who knows that I'm Satanist. My mom is so Christian, and she's constantly shoving that stuff down my throat. So yeah, it would be hard to tell her.
Okay. Everyone's assuming it's her.
The backstory about how she got into Satanism seemed really kind of shaky to me.
What? You guys are wrong, but bye.
Sorry.
I wish I could say I was surprised, but I really wasn't. I think most of it was because of how I was dressed.
I had a question.
Now, you see right there, that just goes to show that they're not really all for each other. And you know what? This is an observation, right? I noticed that each and almost every one of these people that are here, they all said the same thing, which is, oh, I've been involved in this for about a year. Like, this is all very recent. This is how you know that they haven't necessarily thought everything through on just how they're handling things, really. The fact that I'm hearing 6 months, a year. Did I hear maybe 2 years or something like that? I don't think so. I might have to go back on that later. But yeah, it just seems like the way how they just got involved is so very recent. So clearly it's very fresh. Yeah, like that girl that left though. She left pretty buttered, huh?
Coco, I just wanted to ask, when you practice your Satanism, it's mainly personal, you said, right? Like, you don't really follow the temple, or...
No, I don't follow TST.
No, not at all.
No.
But you said you're more towards LaVey and the church.
I don't really like being tethered to anyone's rules or feel like I'm supposed to be in any kind of box. I think the TST does really great work, but I also wish they kind of expanded, because a lot of the focus is on abortion rights, and there's just so much going on in the world with like environmentalism, racism.
There are a lot of different factions that focus on different things and different. A weird proposal. Is there a possibility that if we sniff each other, that one person might smell really different? And I think it could be pheromones.
Oh, whoa, okay. I mean, maybe I'm into it, but come sniff if you want.
I'm gonna try it.
Stop it. Get some help.
I feel like I'm going to be using this one a lot.
Stop the cap.
I never heard that before. Hey guys, you want to know how I can tell that we're all from the same type of group? Let's sniff each other. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I just don't...
Now I'm like, I hope I smell good.
I've got alien goddess in the glare, so I should.
Because I'm not going to be the judge of that.
I know, that's the thing. I can't trust my nose, so that's not going to help me at all.
Yeah, I'm congested.
She feels stupid. She's like, she sniffs everybody, and then all of a sudden she's like, well, I mean, I still can't decide. And I'm like, well, then what was, I don't know. This is really weird. This is, wow. Okay. There you go.
In my mind, I'm kind of questioning Coco and I'm kind of questioning you, just because you.
I'm questioning you because you haven't talked a lot.
Well, just so you guys know, in case you have any doubts about me, I did go viral last year on TikTok for talking about my Satanism.
I thought you looked familiar.
Oh my gosh, I'm not on TikTok.
And actually, no.
Challenging you because you kind of speak in generalities from this round to the last. You seem like you researched last minute type of thing. Maybe I'm wrong.
I wish I had more time to talk.
I don't know who it is. They all kind of have that same
super
vibe.
Smelly because he's wearing this latex outfit that would make you really sweaty, but he had no smell at all.
She just didn't really do a lot of the talking. She was kind of hanging in the background.
We counted all the votes and there's a tie. The tie is between Kara and Shelby. Each of you has 30 seconds to state your case, starting with Shelby.
So I don't have a religious background at all. I was raised completely agnostic. I really did just have to go about my life to figure out what it was that I believed, and the core beliefs and the tenets of TST just are really who I am as a person. You know,
I mean, I did grow up Christian. I'm not going to hide that. I definitely did. Like I said, I also have a lot of trauma. I relate to that. I'm in this stage of just being really angry. The tenets really are something that I strive to live by, because I think organized religion just causes more harm than it does actual humanity. So
Okay, well, I'll say this. From personal experience, I'll definitely say that yes, when it comes down to your belief and you feeling a certain way, it most certainly causes conflict. That's no lie. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I understand it. This is something that, again, I learned from experience, right? You can't necessarily blame religion for you going through something. You know, you gotta remember, you know, the Bible, like, the reason why we have this is because it's basically a guidebook when you think about it. Like, it tells us things that happened prior. It tells us things that led up to, you know, now. It tells us things what's gonna happen later on. I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, if you read it. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, you know, like the Bible, like there's a lot of great things that it talks about that you could literally just read and you would be amazed by. You know, really, it talks a lot from the perspective of love, you know, like it really does. And I'm so sorry that I felt like I should have been a little more prepared, you know, because I would have had some verses ready. But really, like, if you read anything from, let's say, John, you know, for a perfect example, there's a lot of great things, you know, when you read from that part. I don't really like the fact that, oh, I'm angry and, you know, like religious belief, it's what's causing harm on humanity, because I'm thinking, well, you're kind of contradicting yourself. I mean, think about it. If religion in general is causing you harm, then why are you a Satanist? I mean, am I wrong? You know, like, you're kind of contradicting yourself there, because it's like, if religion in general is hurting you, then why are you there? So I'm just saying, that's just where I'm coming from.
Good luck.
Wow.
I do realize that I was being kind of quiet and I didn't get a lot in to say, so I wasn't surprised.
Please raise your hand if you think that the mole is still in the box and you would like to continue playing the game. Starting now, for every time all of you vote out someone that is not the mole, the total prize money will be reduced.
So I'm suspicious of you because, strangely enough, you had no smell. And I was like sniffing into your armpits and stuff. I don't know what that means, but that's the only thing I can go off right now because everyone's giving good answers. Okay. So if you have any questions that might go on a deeper level.
Yeah, I actually have one.
You serious?
What is it with her and smells? I've never seen that before from anything. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm gonna drop that. That's new to me.
This might be a little personal, but what is everybody's kinks and fetishes? Because I think Satanic Temple people might have those a little bit more than Christian. That's just my bias, though. I'm exploring my kinks more these days. Like, since I've just recently gotten into a lot of this stuff, I was also don't want to get too personal, but I was molested as a child, so my sexuality's kind of been all over the place in some very bad places, and hopefully now some good places, some positive, healthy places.
Okay, interesting.
I'm sorry for what happened to you, though.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, that's true.
I do find that a lot of Christians can be very fetishy and also very submissive. I know, I kind of feel like she went viral and definitely have no doubts about you. I'm married to a drag queen and I'm in the dark art society. No offense, but you would look Christian, so I don't want to choose you because you kind of like would be too obvious. You also seem very heartfelt, but that's the whole point, right? Everyone's lying. So what do we think at this point as a group? Like,
I wasn't suspicious of you before, but now I'm a little bit suspicious of you. Just because there's crossover communities, sure.
I mean, vote me out if you want. It's just less money for you guys.
Well, I don't want to share with anybody. That's very Luciferian.
I'm not gonna lie, I had my doubts about you from the beginning just because, no.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The context and everything, it's a little overboard. Because we're trying
Those
to
are
figure
her
out what it
eyes.
is, you know?
You vote them out already then? Now I'm like...
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Okay, well then who are you suspicious of?
I'm still suspicious of these two.
Ask me questions. How can I help alleviate that?
Deny Christ right now.
I'm an atheist.
No, deny Christ. Deny the power of the Holy Spirit. I'll do it. There's no power in the Holy Spirit. There's no power in anything.
I don't
except humanity.
Yeah, I don't believe in any supernatural. I don't believe in any God figure. I also agree. I am a skeptic.
But do you believe Jesus is the Son of God?
No.
Yes.
I do feel a lot more suspicious of you now because...
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God? Well, he is. I mean... but I don't know, like, if that's not God's son, then who is? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't...
Now I'm convinced by him because all the blasphemy that a Christian isn't supposed to do.
Yeah.
And you seem very hesitant, so you reworded it before you actually said it. So
Totally, that's fair.
fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. I mean, she dodged it twice, and she just could not get out from that.
I mean, again, I grew up in that lens, right? And that was like day one, that was embedded into me. And as I just mentioned a few answers ago,
Like, we share a background in that we were raised Christian. We
Right.
have that, you know.
and I will say with that, again, I think this is a journey. And like, as we talk about psychology, it's like still unpeeling a lot of layers for me. So yeah, like maybe a little hesitant because that inner lens, that like 1-year-old self in me is just activated in that. But I'm still learning to peel back those layers of what I was raised in.
I'm kind of curious about this one. I can't tell. I can't tell who's who. I'm really curious actually to know who's the Christian.
I think that was the victory.
They're all going for Kara.
I knew when Nathaniel denounced Christ and suspicious was off him that I was absolutely going to be eliminated.
Please raise your hand if you think that the mole is still in the box and you would like to continue playing the game.
I'll be very upset if a Christian runs out of here with $500.
Yeah, me too. I would go.
If the lights turn green, that means you voted the mole out and you win. If the lights turn red, that means that the mole is still in the box and you lose.
Hell yeah.
Hail.
Satan.
Can the mole please reveal their identity? In 3, 2, 1.
I knew it. It was Kara the whole time. I knew it.
You're wrong about me, okay?
I didn't vote for you.
I judged the ballet flats, I'm sorry.
So I identify as Christian, but it's super deconstructed. Definitely encourage everyone viewing to go research Satanism because it's a beautiful thing.
That makes me so happy because I was thinking, how could somebody actually research?
It's a beautiful thing.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Well, I mean, so it was Kara. Okay, I'll be honest. You know, like I guess sometimes the most clear and plain sight type of thing is actually the most obvious. I don't really know how to feel about that. Okay, that really happened. I'll end with this. I definitely don't agree with a lot of what they say here. I think it's safe to say that a lot of them here do have a lot to learn. I do wish them well. Don't get me wrong, you know, I do hope that things go well for them. But, you know, it is a little sad to hear how they talk about Christians, you know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong, Christians ain't, you know, they ain't all about that either, if I'm being honest with you, you know? I mean, you know, I'll definitely say this. Christians do have a tendency to harper on people way too much. And, you know, they do have a way of saying, well, we're just spreading the word of God and there's nothing wrong with that. But like, if you're going to be tarnishing people and, you know, making them feel incredibly bad, then I don't really feel like you would accomplish that. That's just where I'm coming from, you know? I feel like the best way for you to have people reveal themselves to God is to talk about how much he cares and loves for them, you know what I mean? I mean, that's a lot of what the Bible talks about, you know? You love thy neighbor. There's a lot more that I could bring up if I wanted to, but I don't want to make this too long and make it seem like I'm preaching. Here's the thing too, I don't really believe Kara as a Christian. That made no sense to me. She's like, well, I'm a Christian. I don't really identify with that right now, you know, but don't get me wrong, you know, like go to Satanism. Like there's a lot of beautiful things. I'm like, how is she I don't buy that. I don't, bruh. Like I don't see that. I don't really see how, you know, that she's a Christian when she just said what she said. That didn't really give me the vibe. That's just me, Verse. Thank you very much, Verse, for taking the time to watch my new segment. You know, I'm gonna be not just watching things about religion, right, but other things too, you know, other topics. This is just something that I saw and I was like, you know what, let me just experiment with this video, right? Like, let me just talk about it, because this is something that really made me raise an eyebrow, like, wow, I wonder what they think and talk about. Other than that though, Verse, if you guys like what you saw, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification for more content as always. Look forward to the next video, Verse, and with that said, have an awesome day. I'm really happy to be making more videos, you know. Sorry, Verse, that I've been off for a minute, you know, weather here is terrible in the Bay Area. I will be getting back into making shorts soon. I just wanted to take a break because I haven't been really focusing on making other videos, my other segments, so I'm trying to even it out, you know what I mean? But other than that though, Verse, thanks for taking the time to watch, and I hope you all have an awesome day. Later, Verse.